G'day and welcome to Brewster Brews. Today, another brew dog recipe. It's the Black Tokyo Horizon. This one just spoke to me. It sounded pretty good. It's got some smoked malt in it and a whole bunch of chocolate malt, and yeah, so I'm just gonna roll with this one today. So we got 6.25-ish kilos of extra pale. I had a few leftovers of extra pale, so I just it's going to be between 6 and 7 kilos. I'm not exactly sure. I've got another recipe I'm going to do tomorrow that I measured exactly what I needed, and I'm like, I'll just chuck the rest in the Black Tokyo. So anyways, we've got 7-ish kilos of extra pale. We've got 1.875 of chocolate malt. Ignore the Carafa Special malt there. That's just what my local recommends to replace it with. 700 grams of flaked oats. That's a combination of flaked and quick oats. I didn't buy the right stuff from the shops. 310 grams of smoked malt and 310 grams of Crystal 150. So we'll get all that guy going, and it's going to be going at 65 degrees for 120 minutes. So we'll get this on the go. Get all the special stuff in first. 65 degrees for 2 hours. Lots of malt. The recipe is actually like a 15% malt, 15% ABV at the end, and I'm not aiming for 15. I'm aiming for about 8 or 9%. I don't want it to be crazy strong. I just wanted to whack out another beer quickly, and doing a 15% beer is very, very time consuming with boiling off and whatnot. 2 hours at 65 degrees. I've done my sparge, my batch sparge, which consists of draining 5 litres out of my kegel into a jug, and I put the rest into the cube, and then I proceed to use that 5 litres to sparge over the grains, and then put the tap back on, let it go back out, and we just do that. I think I did it 5 times this time. 5 seems to be a good number. To the middle as much as you can, so it leaves a nice narrow manageable little blob of bag. This is always the tricky part. Gotta let it drain as much as you can before going onto my giant colander that I've got. Almost perfect on the 25 litre line, so I might put another litre in this just for good measure. I might not, but we'll get this up to temp and we'll get the get the hops going. It wouldn't be a brew dog without a very complicated hop bill. So for the start, we've got 46 grams of Columbus, and that's all we are having for the start. Then for the middle, we have 46 grams of Columbus again. Also in the middle, we've got 23 grams of Styrian Goldings, 10 grams of Centennial, 5 grams of Saaz. Actually, I've made it much more complicated than what it was originally. That's purely because I just didn't have all the hops, or my local homebrew shop didn't have all the hops, and I just did substitutes. And sometimes when you do a substitute, it says use 2/3 of this and 1/3 of that, or half to get your equivalent hop profile. So that's what I'm doing today. It's still going to be great tasting beer, no doubt about that. I will start my timer. So in 39 minutes I'll run on downstairs and I will get my middle edition on. The middle edition, yeah. 46 of Columbus, 23 Styrian, 10 and 5 of Centennial Saaz, and then 15 of Hallertau, and then for the end is exactly the same as what I put in the middle. Well, those two look very, very different. What have I missed? Of course, this has got an extra 46 grams of Columbus in it. So the end addition is just the same as the middle without the Columbus, but it'll all be in the recipe in the comments. And so yeah, and now from now we'll do the old pour it into the no-chill cube. I'll put that in the cellar overnight for about 24 hours or so, and we'll get it into the fermenter and start making some beer. Normally right now I'd be saying it's been 24 hours, but it's actually been about a week. I got real busy this week, and I just didn't have, my heart wasn't in it. I couldn't come down here and clean everything up and get ready and get excited. Although now I've got to wait another week before I can try my Tokyo Imperial Stout. Oh well, them's the breaks sometimes. So, but it was a blessing in disguise, because the other day when I was going through all my leftover grains to make up my recipe for the week, and I realised that I had 2 open bags of chocolate malt, and I'm like, that's a bit weird. Why have I got 2 open bags? And I weighed one of them, and it was a kilo exactly, and then I realised that I only put in 875 grams of chocolate malt in place of the Carafa Special, which I do all the time. So yeah, luckily I saw that, I noticed, so I was able to just do this kilo on the stovetop. Geez, it smells good when it's on its own. This has been sitting here for a couple of days too, but it's all been sterilised. It's all happy. It's all well. So yeah, delicious, delicious. It smells really, really good when it's on its own. So, anyways, without further ado, I've sterilised my hydrometer so that I can pour the wort back in and I don't waste anything. And we'll do the old strainer, which has also been sterilised. This is just for some aeration. Oh, how am I going to do this so there's light? I've really got to get some proper lights in my cellar. Alright. Throw the lies back in. There's always a little bit of water and stuff in the tap. Now, my original gravity, I was going to be doing this on the fly. Oh, it's looking reasonably high already. What are we on? 1062-ish. So I need my calculator, and it's somewhere. There it is. My real beer gravity calculator. It's quite handy, this little guy. So the recipe reckons I'm going to end up at 1030. Final gravity of 1030. It's going to be quite thick. So if I'm at 1062, that's going to be a 4% beer. Right. I don't know about this 1030, final gravity of 1030 business. Because I suppose it's got, yeah, okay, almost 2 kilos of chocolate malt, which is, there's like no fermentables in that. Flaked oats, not many fermentables. Smoked, I'm not sure. Yeah, look, so it doesn't look like I've got very good efficiency out of my 6.25 kilos of extra pale. So I'll be adding in the old dextrose. But what do I want? To get it, what do we want? Let's say, what if we went 1080? 1080 will give us 6.5%. Let's go 1090. 1090 start with a 1030 finish will give us 7.8%. I think that's a good level. That'll give us some breathing room for just in case it the final gravity is different to what the recipe says. So we've currently got $10.62. So I'm talking 1090, 1062, 28 points, 66 grams of dextrose per point. 66 times, let's just do 0.66 times 28. 66 grams times 28 points. Okay. Ooh, 1.8 kilos. So, let's just say to hell with it. And put in this 2 kilo bag that I just happen to have lying around. Nice beer. Nice and strong. And hopefully it does hit that 1030 final gravity, because it needs to be thick. And adding all this dextrose in isn't going to affect the thickness of it as long as it finishes up at that 1030. Now, yeast time. Oh look, so I've just done a video on how to wash yeast, and here we are. It's been probably 10 minutes and he's already got a little layer down here of, that's just a little layer of sediment from what I can tell. And then you got a very fine white line here. That one, had I left this for a couple of hours, you can already see the top line there, that's starting to liquefy a bit more. And all the yeast that's in that big layer there will eventually settle. That little white line will get a little bit bigger. Anyways, this is our yeast. And he simply goes straight in. Don't worry about making a starter or anything like that, because there's so many yeast cells in this guy that I reckon 24 hours from now that little bubbler is going to be going nuts. Right, nice tight lid, bit of star sand in the bubbler. Here we go. Come back to this in the morning. I reckon this guy's going to be going straight away. Anyways, that's it. Black Tokyo Horizon. We'll finish this video off in a few months' time when we're drinking one of these babies and see what it's like. It'll probably just taste like beer, to be honest, but I can still talk about it. See you then.